Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Yes, thanks for joining us for another week.
Yes, we are very excited to be here.
We are.
Today, we wanted to talk about Valentine's Day.
Yes, because... Wait, I need to check the dates.
Yeah, I was like, is that going to be the tomorrow after this is posted, or...?
No. Oh, this is... Happy Valentine's Day! It is the 14th of February.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. Sending you so much love.
Yes, sending you all the love.
So we wanted to talk about Valentine's Day since
I had to double check it was the 14th.
Yeah. Because we knew it was next week, but now it is. Like, when you hear this, when it greets your ears, if you listen to it the day we release it, it will be Valentine's Day. So very fitting to talk about the whole concept of it.
Yes, it is. And it's so, like... I feel like it's a very polarized... I would call it a holiday. It's not a holiday, but it is very polarized. Some people are very for it, or some people are like, don't have time for it. Not me. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're not really like... I feel like it would be it's sort of unpopular to not have a strong stance about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's not, like it's almost like not cool to just be like, like you have to either be like, ugh, consumerism, or I love celebrating love.
That is exactly right. And you know what, over the years, like there's this big push, and I've been seeing it all over socials, like Galentine's. Like,
oh, someone's cutting grass or something. I was like, what is that noise? Yeah, Galentine's.
Yes, there's a massive push for that, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that was a thing until a couple years ago.
I think you told me about it the first time.
Probably because I got sent something the day before Valentine's Day, and I needed to know what it meant to be sending it the day before. Like, and someone in the office, because I sent it to my workplace, someone in the office was like, oh, like the day before is like friendship, like in whatever, and I googled it, Galentine's Day, that's what it is. Did that person mean it to be friendship? I don't think so. I think they were just getting in early. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's like there is a big push now where I feel like it's almost on social media more popular to celebrate Galentine's and all the girls getting with their girlfriends the week before and doing like a dinner or something, or hosting a dinner party. And I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but like I don't, like, I've never felt the like, oh, I want a Valentine's, blah blah blah, like I never really cared. But the Galentine's gets me. I want that's the part where I'm like, oh, like, and I compare myself to those people, because having like friends in a similar stage of life as you that really vibe or understand what you're doing, that you just get to be or supportive around each other, like I'm still finding that. So I'm like, I don't have my whole big group of 10 girls to have a Galentine's.
Me neither, sister.
And it's also like, I want to be invited to it. Like I could, organize something, but I want to be the guest.
Yeah, fair. I feel that.
But like, you're right, it has been like a big thing, and I feel like that's almost more popular than Valentine's Day, because I think a lot of people do the whole like, don't get caught up in Valentine's Day. Like, it's not like, because I think a lot of people have traditionally gotten like sad if you don't have a Valentine's. And they're like, don't worry about Valentine's Day. But then now it's this whole like Galentine's thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have a funny Valentine's Day story.
All right, let's hear it.
When I was in high school, I was in year 9, I believe, or year 10. I think year 9, maybe year 10. I don't know. And it was Valentine's Day, and like I've never ever had a Valentine up to that point. Like, until I got my boyfriend, I'd never had a Valentine's. So I was like, and it wasn't really a big thing at school, like where we went to do that kind of stuff. And I walked to maths class. It was the first class of the day, and I went and I sat down and I did my class, and then I got up and I looked at my chair, and there was a little bunch of lavender tied together with a bow, and I'd sat on it. And lavender was my favorite flower at the time. Like, I really liked lavender, and I don't know if people knew that. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, and I can just like I don't know to this day who put it on my chair, if they meant it for me. I mean, it was first period of the day. Yeah. On Valentine's Day, my favorite flower tied into a little bunch, and I totally missed it. I sat on it, and then at the end of the day, I just had a butt that smelled like lavender, and I just like, I remember thinking, like, are you serious? Like, I finally get a Valentine's and I mess it up, Because they weren't going to be like, oh my God, you sat on my Valentine's gift. Like, ugh. And it was like, I felt so like, yep, that's about right.
I can't.
So yeah, that's the only time I ever really did Valentine's Day. And then it's actually kind of funny because when I first like met my boyfriend and we, you know, started dating, right after we started dating, he went overseas. He went away for a month. It was already booked, whatever, and he was gone for Valentine's Day, and I was so disappointed because I was like, my first Valentine's Day with a Valentine, and he's not even here. And I was like, I was a bit more like into that stuff. I feel like I hadn't sort of shaped my own personality to come up with my own beliefs, and I was very like a bit caught up in it. And I was a little bit disappointed that he wasn't going to be there. And I remember thinking like, oh, like, because he's not a big, like, even at that stage I knew he's not a big gift giver. He likes quality time, all that kind of stuff, but not really into the whole gift giving, which I don't mind. It's not my love language either. But I was like, oh, so I'm not going to see him, I'm not going to spend quality time with him, like I just have to FaceTime him later. And then that day I got flowers delivered to my door and I cried.
It was actually pretty cute.
And he like, it was so funny because like a few weeks before he went with someone from work and they organised it, whatever. He's like, you know, because I wasn't going to be there. And the card said like, you know, dear Jess, like, love Jackson. Happy Valentine's Day, love Jackson. I was like, oh my God. And it was so funny because like the night before, like we weren't together that long, and the night before he left was the first time we said like, I love you to each other. And he was like, yeah, I was a bit worried because I was like, otherwise the first time I said it to you was going to be on that card.
Oh.
But it wasn't. And so it was fine. But it's just like, that was really nice. But since then, like that's probably the most, I mean, we usually, Jax and I will go out to dinner sometimes, usually, not on Valentine's Day, usually like the weekend before or the weekend after, or like a different day. And it's more so just because, we don't generally go on like a dinner date. You know, we go on a lot of like dates, but it's more like breakfast or chill, like, you know, getting some food and eating at the beach, you know, that kind of thing. So we don't often like go to like a restaurant and sit down and have a waiter come and like take our orders, and then like, you know, that's not something we do very often, or get dessert. So that's like, Valentine's Day is our one time of the year that reminds us, oh, we should probably do that. That would be nice. And so that's what we do. So but yeah, I don't know, it's not really.
So do you have it planned for this year?
No, it's actually usually, because I'm usually very on it, and then this year it's weird, I just don't care very much this year. Every other year I've been like, oh my gosh, we should go out for Valentine's Day, and this year I mean, I think we will, but I don't know, I just don't feel the same as I have in the past years.
It's really interesting because like everything's been like, my algorithm on my socials is all baking stuff and it's all heart-shaped and pink and red and cute I love you stuff, and it's all well and great. And then you've got the complete opposite, where like people like Sarah's Day, who considers herself the Valentine's Day Grinch.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, that like most recently she's like, you know, whatever that is, that's what I am. She doesn't enjoy it, she doesn't celebrate nothing. It is what it is. It's just another day in the calendar. But it's really interesting to see that even though she's not a big Valentine's Day person, like her brands, like Sunny still released a Valentine's Day recipe because people still buy into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's so like polarizing. It's so like, you know, you either love it or you hate it. But even if you don't like it, you still are consumers of it, and
you still have to capitalize on it.
Yeah,
you know, you still have to capitalize on that opportunity, because it's like, oh, Valentine's Day, because whether we like it or not, it's like a big thing.
It is. And I mean, like, it's all through the shops, like the roses and the bears and the whatever, the cards and the love hearts and all that, you know, like everything's there. And I just think, I don't know, like over the years I have got Valentine's Day presents.
You've got a lot, like, considering like I sat on one little thing of lavender, but you've actually had like gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the little things, you know, like you've had the chocolate roses, or like the flowers and stuff like that, whereas like I've never really had the like cliche like teddy bear.
Yeah, no, I've definitely gone through all of that. I've had the teddy bear, I've had the box of roses, I've had the single, I've had a lot of stuff over the years. And like, it's just like,
you're not a huge gift person.
I'm really, like, I'm
you
not.
appreciate it.
I do appreciate it, but like on Valentine's Day, all I can think about is like how expensive it is, and it just eats me to my core. Like, yes, it's nice to receive it, but I've always been that person, like, it's like, oh, I feel bad that other people didn't get stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, like, I don't want to like show off what I got, because it's like, oh, like, you know, like
because we've all been there when other people post on social media and we didn't get anything, and it hurts.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm that awkward person that's like, I sit on the fence on this day. Like, I'm, happy to celebrate it, happy to not. This year in particular, probably celebrating it more than not, because, well,
you got a boyfriend.
Yeah, I've got a boyfriend this year. That kind of helps.
Yeah. It does help.
Yeah.
You have a Valentine.
I have a Valentine. But I definitely like probably a little bit more forward in the fact that I don't want to buy into the actual day. So like going out to dinner on Valentine's Day, everything's a set menu. It's ridiculously overpriced, and it's a school night. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't know. And maybe call me the Valentine's Day Grinch. I don't care. But in saying that, at the same time, we have booked dinner this year.
You're not a Valentine's Day Grinch. You bought a gift for your boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. But like, I haven't bought like the
cheesy stuff.
The cheesy stuff.
The
like,
branded stuff.
Yeah, I bought him like thoughtful stuff. If you want to see what I got him, head over to my TikTok. But just like cutesy, like, yeah, it is cutesy. It is. Part of it is cutesy. I'm not gonna lie.
It is cutesy. Mm-hmm.
But like,
I was gonna say what it was, but he might listen to this before you give it to him. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yes. So like, it's just, anyways, it is what it is. But I think it's more like, I think my perspective on it's shifted. It's not like I want to give him something because it's Valentine's Day. It's just a nice time to, he's really big into gift giving. Yes. Right? He
expresses a lot of his love.
Yeah.
In that way.
And it's beautiful. And I think it was really interesting. I'm probably going to embarrass him on here, but I bought him a present because he got a promotion at work, right? And I bought him a present, and like, he was just so like, it's like he's never really experienced that kind of like love before. Like, other people, like, he's always been the one to buy his partner gifts. He's never been like the receiver and on the receiving end of that. And I didn't realize that when I bought him the present. Like, I just was like, you know.
Did he cry?
No, he didn't cry. Well, he might have when he got home. I don't know.
That was so cute. I love it.
But like, he got like he didn't know how to like kind of like navigate it. Like, he did, but it was just like, so he had no idea it was coming, right? And it was actually really sweet. But it was just like, you know, I think it's a good reminder to spoil or to show love to your partner in addition to what you normally do. Valentine's Day is, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you don't have to buy into it, but I think it's a day that everyone knows about, that isn't a bad chance to be like, hey, this is like, let's pour some love into our cup.
Yeah, I always thought it was like, that's exactly how I've always seen it. Like, I don't really like care. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, Valentine's Day. But like, why wouldn't you just take the opportunity to think of, like, you know, it's like another reason to celebrate. Like, I'm like, I don't understand like why, you know, like, people have something against it. I mean, I think there's good ways. If you're not a big Valentine's Day buy into it, like, you can still take that as a reminder, like, yeah, like Jax and I usually do, or like you're doing, and just go out to dinner another night, because it's like, oh, okay, because sometimes like you get so busy with life you forget these things, so like take advantage of the reminder to do something a little bit more special or different. But I think what you said about how he never had been given gifts before, I think it's so common for people to express their own love language in how they show love, and then like two people, if they have two different love languages, like if you have different ones, you both express it to the other person in the way you want to have it received, almost. So it's like, you know, I think it's interesting to look at the person, you know, you're with, the people that you love, and see how they show love to you. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be friendship, family. And if they, you know, constantly like give you like really like words of praise, maybe their love language is words of affirmation, and you could say some nice things, you know, because your relationships in life will be so much more fulfilled if you pay attention to how other people feel loved, and not just be blinded. Because sometimes I think people, you think like, I've done so much for that person, like I do so many acts of service for them, how could they not feel appreciated or loved? And it's like, well, that's because acts of service is your love language. And while like everyone wants a little bit of all of them, maybe they want some more quality time. You know, maybe they would appreciate that more. And so I think that's a really interesting thing, especially if you're, you know, maybe gonna take Valentine's or Galentine's to celebrate, you know, the relationships you have in your life. Maybe think about like what the person that is going to be receiving that gift or thought, like how they would actually appreciate it a bit more. Exactly.
And I think Valentine's Day is very pushed towards the girl getting things. Do you mean? It's very, that's how it's, that's the perspective of it, you know, like the guy buying the girl flowers or the chocolates or the teddy bear or whatever. So I just think what I like to say about Valentine's Day is like, you don't have to buy into the consumerism of it, but it doesn't stop you from doing something nice, which is that whole premise of, you know, it take advantage of it, like of the reminder to show love.
Yeah, and then do it in like a meaningful way if you can, like, because it's funny, I remember that first year that I got flowers from Jackson, and I was like, oh my god. And I think that was really sweet because he wasn't here and he knew that I was like, because when I was like, oh my god, you're not going to be here for Valentine's Day, and I didn't want to celebrate it too much, but it was like, you know, it is a thing, you know. I was like excited about it. I was like, you're not going to be here, and I really appreciated that he took the time and the effort to, you know, send me flowers and stuff like that. But I was also, it was the first time I had ever received flowers from like somebody that I was like interested in or like dating or anything like that. Like the first time someone had just surprisingly sent me flowers, and I was so excited. And I put like I think I got like 200 photos on my phone of those flowers, and I put them on social media, and I did the whole, because I wanted everyone to know. I wanted everyone to know how loved I was and how special I was. And it's like, I look back and I'm like, oh bless. But like but now it's like, it is different, like the different stages you're at with like somebody, because Valentine's Day is a romantic holiday, like it is for, you know, that's where it's aimed at. It's like romantic partners, and like where you're at in different stages of that. Like now I'm very much at a place where like Jackson has got me flowers since, and I don't post photos of it because it's like, and I don't want to like come across like anyone posting photos is like, you know, needing validation or attention seeking or anything. Because if you're happy and you want to share that on social media, I think that's great.
Go for it.
But it's like, it has, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm like old, but I'm just like, oh, like I almost don't want to share. Like I'm like, this is nice. It's just special for us because I feel completely like satisfied and like everything in my relationship. So I don't need to sort of show that to everyone. And so it's nice to be at that stage. And I think that's another reason why this year I don't feel the need to go out to dinner, because the last few years I really want to be like I would post on my Instagram like, oh, dinner, like Valentine's Day, and I might still do that if we go out to dinner, like, but it's like I was going out to dinner to take the photo, whereas now I want to go out to dinner like
for the quality time with each other.
And sometimes, you know, like I still enjoyed the dinner, but like I think this whole social media thing, like you can get like, it gets you so caught up in the comparison, and I feel like if you don't like show it, it's like, did it really happen? But that's not true at all. So it is like, you got to remind yourself that like sometimes what people are posting might not be 100% realistic, and just be able to focus on what's happening for you and what you would truly make you happy with the person that you're with.
That's right.
And what about people that aren't with anybody?
Well, that's exactly right, and that's what I was probably going to try and lead us into next, is the fact that, like, at the end of the day, it's just a day. Let's just put that out there. But it's a day, like, you do you. Honestly, if you are in a relationship and you want to post about it, post about it. If you're in a relationship you don't want to, don't. If you're on your own, there's nothing wrong with that. We've spent many Valentine's Days on our own, like many, and it can be sad, it can be cringy, and like it can be
a big reminder of what you don't have.
It is, and it's hard. And I think what I've realized in the past is that it's okay, and I try, and try is the biggest word here, to use that to pour into my own cup, show myself some self-love, use that as a reminder to push me to do something for me.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is hard. And I mean, I think it's like easy to just, like, sometimes it's easy just to ignore it or try to be like, who cares, it's just another day, especially when it's like a Tuesday, you know?
Exactly. And be like, I don't even like Valentine's Day. I have 100% said that when I've been single.
Valentine's Day is so
guilty.
Stupid. Yeah.
So guilty of that.
Me too. I'm like, ew, who would even celebrate that? Ugh.
Yeah, like, honestly, we've all done it. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. I think it's, sometimes you just got to get through that day, however you get through that day. But
I do like the reminder of, like,
do something for you. And you know what? Even if you're in a relationship, do something for you.
Show yourself some love. I mean, there's a big movement for that right now, which I really like. The whole, you know, like, fill your own cup, you know? And so it's like, definitely, like, how, like, I feel like if somebody put on their social media that I was following and they were like, bought myself some flowers on Valentine's Day, I'd be like, you're such a boss. I mean, you paid the surcharge for Valentine's Day, but, like, maybe get them the day after.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, it's just, it's really, not that you should just do things because they're trendy or cool, but it is very in right now, and it's cool because there's this wave you can jump on and ride to not need someone else to have fun on that day, or to buy some chocolate, or to just enjoy it. And I don't know, and I think, like, if you do that, like, I would be inclined to tell you to, like, brag about that, because that's so cool, you know. If you're single and then you go out to dinner, I'm like, you know, with a friend or by yourself, or like, that is just really fun. And yeah, exactly, like, show you, like, the longest relationship you'll ever have in your life is with yourself. It's the only one that is from the beginning to the end. You know, it's probably the one you should be putting the most work into, the most effort. And we forget that. So take Valentine's Day as a reminder, whether you're single or in a relationship, to nurture that relationship, you know?
Definitely. Do anything. It doesn't even have to be big. It could be, do a face mask. Go to bed early if that's what it is.
Read a romantic book.
Yeah. Go watch the sunrise. Buy yourself a coffee. Like, you know, someone like me, like, I don't ever really now buy coffees anymore, right? But it could be something that I do for myself on Valentine's Day, you know, treat myself to a coffee or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, but just, I think it's the intention behind it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like, the thing is, I mean, some people, like, everyone's path is different, but most people do end up in a romantic relationship at some point. Like, if you're in your 20s or teens or 30s and you haven't met someone yet, or any age, but, like, let's, you know, use that as an example. You're in your 20s and you haven't met your person yet. You probably will, you know, and you don't know if that's going to be tomorrow, next week, next year, in 10 years' time. So, but at some point when you meet that person, it changes. Yeah. And so while you're alone, like, really try and, like, cherish that time, because when I was single, I was not, like, super focused on myself. And I mean, I was very, like, and I mean, I was in my teens, you know, like, I met Jackson when I was 20, so it was not, I never got to that 20s and discover yourself. Yeah. And I think you can do that at any age. And so if you're in that, like, definitely take that opportunity, because it is really nice to live completely and wholly, like, unaccountable to anyone else's opinions and things. Yeah. Because even if you're in, like I'm in a great relationship and I get to be myself and everything, but you still are always considering someone else's feelings, because that's, like, mutual respect. So it's like, you know, if you're single, like, appreciate that, and, like, you know, because it probably won't last forever. and you know, we're always waiting for that, you know, like, I was always waiting for that to be over and to find my person. And, like, I'm so grateful that I have, but, you know, like, if you just change that mindset earlier on, then, you know, it's nice to appreciate what you're at.
I think so. It's like the typical thing in all of life, like, enjoy the journey. Yes. Don't reach for the destination.
And don't wait for hindsight to understand how, like, special it was.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm happy with that.
Me too. That was a good chat.
That was good. Well, we are sending you all our love on Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We hope you have a wonderful day, week, whatever.
Year.
Lifetime.
Yeah, no,
full of love.
yeah, just we hope you can make the best of the day, whatever that means to you.
Yes, you do you.
And I guess until next week,
we will chat to you then. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in.
There's absolutely no pressure to do this, but if you're happy to share the podcast with your friends or on your socials and tag us at Pierced Off Pod, that would be amazing.
You can also leave us a stellar 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening on if you're feeling extra motivated today. It really does help us out so much, but ultimately, we are just beyond grateful that you're here.
You're also more than welcome to come and hang out with us on our other socials. All of our links are in the description.